Okay, welcome to part 2. Thanks for coming. Like, literally, like, why are you here? I love you guys, but why are you here? Is my crippling self-esteem showing in this video? I think so. Okay, part 2. Let's get this party started. Next up, I have a question from Inch, and I love Inch. And she said, a book that you recommend to anyone, regardless of their favorite genre, etc., like your go-to book recommendation. Part wants to say The Gentleman's Guide, but also I don't want to say Gentleman's Guide. I feel like I don't recommend books to everyone. I just feel like Penguin in the End of Days. Penguin in the End of the Days, guys. I just started myself. Like, I recommend that book series to literally everyone. I talk about it in almost every single video. Penguin in the End of Days. Oh, and ask another question. Okay. Also, books that broke your heart and made you cry buckets full of tears. All the Bright Places is the first book that ever made me sob. I think what made me sob with All the Bright Places is the fact I read that book in about 6th grade, and that was the first time I just had to kind of come to terms with the fact that you don't always get this happy ending. So I was in denial, and I just kept flipping back the pages and thinking like, oh no, like that's not true. It's impossible. Just to figure out it's definitely possible. It kind of like killed this piece of innocence that I still had at the time. And not in a bad way, like it is a realistic topic, but it just wasn't something I ever truly grasped because it was never something that touched my life. So my good friend Diana at DianeXMoonlight, I actually never read people's usernames, asked me a handful of questions. Her first one is favorite book to movie adaptation. Diana, maybe you aren't friends because I actually made a video. It's super old. Probably not that good. I didn't really know how to edit well. My makeup looked bad. The lighting was bad. It was actually only like 4 months ago. But I made a video called Why I Hate Book to Movie Adaptations. I just really don't like them. At least my experiences with them have been bad in the past. I'm not going to go force you guys to watch the video, listen to my reasons. They'll probably be more elaborated. But the thing that just really like turned them off for me was actually The Deaf. The Deaf was coming out as a movie. The new Mean Girls. I liked Mean Girls. My sister got it for me. I read The Deaf, watched the movie. Completely different. You had this like classic typical mean girl in the movie played by Bella Thorne. That character wasn't even in the actual book, and it just like, it was a total like curveball. Then there was Twilight, and I love Twilight. It has this really nostalgic factor for me because I went and I watched that movies with my parents. The way that people treated Twilight, the way that the actors, especially Robert Pattinson, loved him to death, but even the way that he treated like the fans, it haunts me to this day. I do like 200 Ways I Loved Before, however, so I'm just going to use that as my answer. That was lovely. It had such great feedback, and I'm so happy for Jeannie Han. I love Jeannie Han with all my heart. So, yippee yay, I guess. A book that everyone loves, but you hate. I hate Daughter of Smoke and Bone, and I hate Nevernight. Daughter of Smoke and Bone was a complete snooze fest for me, and then Nevernight, I've already complained about that in my May wrap up, and I feel like everyone that's here has probably watched that, but in conclusion, Nevernight's writing was bad, the story was bland, the characters, I read them before. That's the main gist of it all. What would you do if you won the lottery today? I would probably call my mom and just let her tell me what to do. A song you relate with your favorite book. When I listen to music, I do not think of books. I think about my own story of like Andrew and Amelie and like their children and their children's children almost. Not really, we're not there yet. Well, I'm probably gonna get there, to be honest. I just can't stop. I can't stop. Favorite Percy Jackson book and faith pairing. I've only ever read the original Percy Jackson series. I did start, well I actually finished the first book in Heroes of Olympus, but never finished. Just didn't have the same charm. I will probably get back to it. I want to reread the Percy Jackson series. I'm probably gonna reread the first book in Heroes of Olympus begrudgingly, and then hopefully I get back to it because I really want to finish. Like, I love Rick Riordan. It's just a lot of work. But I guess I just have to go with Percabeth. Percabeth is a wonderful couple. I relate to Annabeth because I too love idiots. I'm missing my jewelry. Next up, we have questions from Sailor at the Wicked Reader. He asked, Kel or Derek? Are you new here, Sailor? It's Kel Moresh. What book have you read the most times? I have read Anna and the French Kiss like 5 times. I think that's the most I've ever read a book. It's just such a fun novel for me. I can always get really into it. Okay, hi, it's the middle of the morning, so I'm editing because it's about time I got this up for you guys. And I just wanted to do a quick insert. As always, is there ever an radio file insert? Because I actually started reading Anna and the French Kiss, and usually I finish it in a day. However, it has been 4 days and I have not picked it up since. Why? Because the last time I reread that book was actually 2 years ago, So I was a lot younger then, a lot more immature. And I'm just noticing the immaturity and the overall juvenileness. Is that a word? I don't know. You get it what I'm trying to say. Of the characters and just the tone of the book in general. Like, you have books that are fun reads, but who don't have to write, like, I don't want to insult Stephanie Perkins, but who don't have to write, like, there's, I was gonna say, like, they're 16, that's how old I am. But she kind of writes like I do, to be honest, and that's not good, because my writing is horrible. I've also noticed that, like, the main character in that book is a bit of a, not a pick-me, but does have a bit of, I'm not like other girls tendencies, and I really hate that. Usually because I notice, not gonna lie to you guys, I notice that the girls that they bash kind of, like, dress like me or like into the same things that I am, and we're just not all like snobby ratty people, obviously, and it's just, it's generic, it's overused. Problem of the main character's love interest and cheating has also kind of grasped my attention. Although they are not explicitly cheating, still questionable behavior, you know, like, so I can't really just, I can't support as much as I used to. It's really sad. I'm probably going to finish my reread and see how I feel. I obviously have enjoyed it so many times in the past, 5 freaking times. This is the 6th time I'm opening up this book. But I always adore every single book except for Lola. But even Lola, I've read, what, like 2 times? I've read Isla like 4. So, just a sad day in history. Any book, movie quotes that you actually say on a somewhat regular basis? No, I really only quote Vine. Where is your dream destination / vacation? Paris. If you could have any superpower of your choosing, what would you have? The ability to read minds. From the movies, which Harry Potter character is the most attractive? Cedric Diggory. What's your all-time favorite book quote? Is your learning curve a horizontal line? Said by Andrew Maillard. To love his life. If you went to jail, what would it most likely be for? Murder. I think about murder all the time. I was telling my friend Zara. Oh, I mentioned my friend so much. I need to stop doing that. I was telling Zara, actually, how I would commit a murder. Or how she should commit a murder. We were talking about murder. I was talking about murder, and she was baffled by me. It was me, it was murder. We are at Nikki, the Trasgarian. I love Nikki. She's awesome. She's great. Amazing person. Although she's kind of always coming for me. Mediocre person. We all can't be 10. Some people just have to be 5s. If she belonged to a district in the Hunger Games, it will probably be 13. Number 1, Thoughts on Jude dying queen of nothing. Whore. Kind of want her Carden to die. I made a tweet about it the other day. I don't know. If you watch Game of Thrones, I can't stop talking about it. I'm obsessed. I'm sorry. If you watch Game of Thrones, you understand, like, the high stakes. You're just always fearing your favorite character dying. That season made me realize that sometimes a character not dying can ruin things. Like, I'm not going to spoil who didn't die, but there is somebody who should have been dead, and yet somehow nobody killed him. You can have, like, maybe not the most satisfying ending, yet still the right ending at the same time. That was ultimately the best direction for the story to go. I'm not saying that Jude or Carden have to die in order for the story to be good, but I wouldn't mind them dying if the stakes are there. And if they're going to live, it just has to be believable to me. Like, yeah, Jude is strong, yeah, I guess Carden is cunning, but I just don't want it to be too easy. So much of the story has been done, like, fighting to get out their respective holes, and I don't want it to be too easy. Ranked by who deserves the most roundhouse kicks from the face to the butt. Adam Kent, Carden Greenbrier, Mayim Orestev. Adam Kent first, Mayim Orestev second. Carden Greenbrier last. Adam Kent, it's like once he stopped valuing his relationship with Juliet, his duties as a civil servant just kind of evaporated. He now does not want to do anything to help anybody. He's just so selfish, and he deserves to be roundhouse kicked. I don't understand, it's boring, so maybe you can kick some life into him. Carden Greenbrier, I think he deserves a break. The love of his life put knives up to his throat, and also just killed him, and also he grew up on cat milk. Who's catching that fade in Imagine Me? I don't want to answer this question just because you said that, Faith. Nobody's going to die. Not that we care about, at least. If someone is going to die, I want it to be Ian. Because Ian sucks. Ian has contributed nothing except for being a jerk and being entitled. That is what I've learned about literally all of their friends except for Nazira and Kenji. They've all feel entitled to Warner and Juliet's kindness. But as soon as things got a little tough, I'm gonna just hit the road, Jack. I mean, they never done nothing for me. And it's like, dude, they housed you. They fed you. They protected you. They have given you a safe place in the world that is a literal hell, and they've done nothing for you? Who has more money, Gansey, Warner, or Carden? Okay, Carden, no. Carden's a prince. He is a prince, like, I guess, but he just doesn't give off like rich vibes to me. I don't know. Warner, I know that wealth is a thing, but is it like as tangible in the Shatter Me series? Because everyone seems to be like really poor and living in destitute, except for the people at the top as like commanders or the sons and daughters of commanders. And while I'm sure there are more people who are probably like kissing their butts and getting these special favors, I feel like you're either in destitute or you're like the commander's kids or you're like on the top. We have not really seen it in between yet. Is Warner's wealth actually like it's wealth, but is it like, I think I'm not making sense. But it's like he has no competition for his wealth. Like nothing really has value anymore. Like things have value, but it's like, what am I trying to say? I'm gonna say Gansey. Gansey went and saw his mom in a helicopter and he said that he was the gift. Gansey wears boat shoes. He brought a whole entire warehouse to live in as a freaking teenager. Gansey. He just gives off rich white boy energy. He gives off, yeah, my daddy could buy your daddy energy. So I'm gonna go with him. A book moment that made you think, I'm over it, Streets is done. None of those books, because no one thinks about the streets. Are we talking about the imaginary streets in freaking Hogsmeade or in Elfheim? Are we talking about these streets? It was probably too white. But are those the ones? You're from the Grisha world, but your power is special. What are you the summer of? Sugar daddies. Which greenbrier would you rather sleep with? Mind you that one has thorns and another a tail, and so on. Eldred. Why? I don't know. 20. Daddiest. Darkling, Reason, Carden, or Corian. I don't know who Corian is, boo. Another insert. This time is Night. And I know who Corian is now. I read Fairyborn. He freaking sucks. He has absolutely no development. It's almost like she tried to make the Darkling and she failed. You know how I feel about Reason, Nikki. It's just time to accept the fact that he's dry. The Darkling or Carden. The Darkling is probably the most daddy out of this list. I don't even like the Darkling. Why? Do I like the Darkling low-key? Like deep down inside, is there this well that likes the Darkling? I don't know. I've been kind of praising him. Like I've been criticizing him yet choosing him this whole entire video. Which book from any series doesn't exist to you? Empire of Storms. What was that? The only part of Empire of Storms that exists is all of Elorkin's scenes. If it ain't that, I don't want it. Okay, so that is all of my 400 subscribers Q&A. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I make videos every single week, so I hope to see you guys next time. Bye, love you, see you later.